Welcome to Refreshing Viewpoints. I'm your host, Bill Austin, and we are always prospecting for gold in the Golden Isles of Georgia. We have come to one of the newest places in the Golden Isles. This is very terrific and has quite a nice niche. The owners are Kate and Craig Ross, and they are the owners. We're going to be talking with them today, so stand by. Hello and welcome back to Refreshing Viewpoints. We're at the Pelican Market with the owner, Kathryn Ross. Kathryn, welcome back.
Thank you.
Right now we want to talk a little bit about you and what it took for you to start the business.
Okay.
And what recommendations would you have for other people who are interested or thinking about starting a business?
Okay. First of all, the location. What happened is wasn't even looking to start a business. Well, we always kind of wanted to, but we could never figure out what we wanted. I was selling produce to crab daddies, and then I looked over there and I saw at this building across the street they were doing some work because I knew it was old restaurants. So I walked across the street and I went to the Still liquor store, and I have to give Dale his props who worked there. I said, "What are they doing here?" And he said, "They're just breaking it up into 4 spots." And I said, "Okay." And then Dale goes, "If I could get a nickel for every person that asked me for a Tylenol right here." You know, and then I started thinking. So I went home, and Craig, where are you? He's hiding. My husband, who's co-owner. I started talking with him. I said, "What do you think? I'm thinking of a beachy convenience store with little extras, little, ice creams and scooped ice cream." And so that was in November of 2016. And so I started thinking about it, and he goes, "Well, sure." So I had tried to start a business before years ago, and I went to the Small Business Development Group, University of Georgia system. Actually, Jordan Tippett helped me, and went down there and started talking to him in November of 2016. And he came up with all these things I didn't even think about, like, pricing out coolers, pricing out inventory, come up with the inventory. That was the hardest thing for me ever, is to sit down and decide the inventory because it was going to be a lot for a general store. But he was able to, what you need marketing, what you need LLC, what you need for your licensing, your tax, all this kind of stuff. And so we made a plan, and we made a spreadsheet and came up. It took a while, and then I had to write a business plan, which was really, really good to put down on paper. Planning's not my forte. To put everything down on paper and see what you're planning, and that took a while because it took a while for me to write it with working another full-time job and kids and family. So
What was the other full-time job?
I worked for In-Laws Produce. I was selling produce to all the restaurants in the Golden Isles, and that's how I saw them.
Right. Okay.
They're always out and about. So, and like I said, we always wanted to try to open something of our own. So that's what we did. I started writing the plan and getting information, and also talking with other business owners. I had a good Big B at Island Foods. I'll give him kudos. He gave me quotes on how much the electricity you're going to spend. I mean, just the biggest stuff. This is expensive with all these coolers running. What's your monthly utilities are going to cost? You had to plan that all in. How much does your coolers cost? That ice maker on top of the Coke machine. So I had to just make a huge budget for inventory, for equipment, for supplies, and coming up with this number and say, "Hey, can we do it or not?" So and several people helped me and gave me ideas, and Maggie from Jekyll Island Market, she helped me with coming up with people, like, who are you going to buy this stuff from? Right. You need a retailer, a distributor, and then also Turnip Greens and Darien. They helped me look at POS systems. It's just, what are you going to use? How are you going to ring this stuff up? So, and then it just came all together. And of course, the big thing was the spot, is writing customer analysis with the market, with the plan. Who's going to come to your store? How are you going to be successful?
Right.
So
you had to get a business plan, then you had to get all the details in terms of where you're going to get your produce from, how much your power is going to cost you, and all those kind of details. And idea in terms of time it took to do that?
It took from November 2016 till we started renovating in June of 2017.
So, but when did you purchase? When did you sign a lease agreement or buy?
Oh, that was okay. Our agreement was, you know, around June, August, that kind of thing. We kind of started, you know, signing and talking about papers, work, and stuff like
Right,
that.
because that's really kind of when
That's when it all started moving.
Right,
yeah.
because the industry is very real.
Right. That's
Okay.
that's when we started. Like, this is it. I got to start paying for rent. I got to start
Right.
paying for utilities. Got to start paying sales tax. Got to start, you know, that too. You had to set up your sales tax number, your federal tax number. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize how much it was, but you know.
And so you did your business plan, got a building, started paying rent, then started putting stuff in it. What would you recommend to other people who are thinking about starting a business?
Definitely make a business plan and know what you're doing, because I was really going to jump into this blindly, and I had, you know, sit down, take the time to write down in detail what you really want to do.
Okay.
And that was the hardest thing for me, but it was the best thing for me to do.
Okay.
You've got to know what you're doing. You've got to know what you're bringing in, what your inventory, how you're going to go about it, and also who are your customers.
And then Kathryn, one last thing, then we'll wrap up. What about the time investment?
I'm working all the time. That's the truth. But you gotta love it. It's different because you're working for yourself.
Right.
So, and it was a lot of time to plan it,
Right?
and it's a lot of time right now. But I see an investment in my time right now. I'll be able to hire people later. Not yet.
Okay.
So,
Because it takes a couple years before you really
Yeah.
start to see a profit.
yeah.
Right, okay.
We've got children.
Okay. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Well, listen, thank you very much for allowing us to come to the Pelican Market and being part of Refreshing Viewpoints. And best of luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And you can stay tuned again where there'll be another refreshing view waiting for you.